Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel, all my kings and queens. Welcome, stand up. Today we got a special guest. We got my man, the legend, one of the best Captain America players, John F. Kennedy, man. How is it going today?
It's going great.
Fantastic. So, John F. Kennedy is a Captain America main. And today I wanted to go ahead and read you guys a deep dive on him. You got any things you want to get out the way about Captain America?
Well, the reason I had the specialization screen to open up is because I think he's kind of got like two ways to play him.
Oh,
So I have one side of the story, and I'll kind of explain the other side as we go through the skills and stuff.
okay. I do have one question. Do you think he is free to play friendly?
Oh no, not at all.
All right, guys, let's go ahead and get right into it. Go ahead and open up your player for us. Let's all see what you got going on here. All righty. Wow, that is a lot. All right, let's hop right into the gear. So, what is the best gears that you think would be for, Captain America, both regional and non-regional?
So this goes back to like the specialization thing.
Right.
There's two halves to it. So there's like the hand-to-hand stuff,
Yeah.
and then there's the like shield absorption vibranium release. So like if you're looking at the sets that you're gonna look for, like the non-regionals,
Mm-hmm.
it really depends on what you're trying to go for. So like
Oh.
Midgardia is good for the vibranium release,
Mm-hmm.
and then I believe Sakaar is like hand-to-hand combat.
Okay.
So like as we're going through, you'll kind of like see which one you like more, and then you'll just want to find gear that gets you the plus to that skill.
Okay. So I'm going to guess that also means that he probably has two special gears that he could probably work with, or is like all three of his special gears kind of on the poopy side.
The, I think they're all kind of like mediocre, but they're changing the special gear in that next patch though.
Okay.
So like the base stats here, like the 870, right now I believe that they're the same as the regionals. Or no, they're slightly higher, but I think they're going up to like 940 or something. So now they're making specialized gear even better, but that's besides the point.
Ah. Okay. So yeah,
But
I'm already seeing it. Looks like Captain America might have some different builds that we can go into. So let's also go back to his badges because this is also a good topic point. When you play Captain America, because most people when they get a yellow core, they kind of just dread it. Is a yellow core essential for Captain America? Because it seems to be like the only person that really relies on that big health pool.
I would say no. I think the only reason I'm running this is because I have one 6-star vitality. So like running that is not too terrible because the bonus is nice. But I think overall, I don't think you ever really need HP because that goes into the issue of like why Captain America is difficult in this game because a lot of the end game stuff is mostly based on like speed
Mm-hmm.
and like damage.
Mm-hmm.
And so the problem with things like HP is HP doesn't help you clear stuff faster. So
Ah.
almost on all characters, you'll pretty much want to build like completely offense. Even for someone like Captain America, where you get a better payoff for defense, you're still going to end up putting like attack cores and defense pierce and crit cores just to like keep up with damage on the end game stuff.
Okay. Yeah. I've also seen some Captain Americas kind of decked out, especially in like Dimensional Duel that has the full dark domain set. Like, what? Why do you guys use the dark domain set so much? I'm very curious about that one.
I honestly don't know. So like I said, there's like two sets. The only reason I play Dark Domain is because I got a lot of them, and so I knew I could nano a whole bunch.
Yeah.
This was like back when I was dolphining, so because I didn't think I was going to spend a bunch of money, I was like, well, I've got a bunch of Dark Domain from this, one of the banners. And so I was like, I'll just level Dark Domain then. And then I just built my character around the fact that it gets the shield absorption plus skill.
Okay,
But
okay,
it feels up to me though, like, and I could like go back and just pick any, build. I would love to try the hand to hand stuff.
okay.
I think it's really good, but like you're kind of, if you're running the gear set that gives you plus to something else, you can't run hand to hand. Like you're kind of gimping yourself.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, I mean, it's not. So I want to also, because you did point out that he kind of has two different routes that he can go with. So I want to kind of do this. I want to do this a different way. Let's start off with the skills first before we go to the specializations, because you did put in, hand to hand and shield absorption. So I'm very curious on like what those skills are classified as.
Yeah, yeah, that works.
Okay, so what is if you are trying to build your class around shield absorption, what are the skills that you would mainly run?
So, let's see. So we'll just go through real quick just to divide them out. So this is hand to hand. Um, this is vibranium release, which means that you use shield absorption to build it up, and then use a vibranium release skill to release it, and then you like, deal extra damage.
Okay.
So this is your release skill. This is a release skill. This is a build up skill. This is a build up skill, and this one's a build up skill. And then you have this hand to hand and this hand to hand up here.
Okay. Okay. Now let's say you wanted to do hand to hand combat. What would be some skills that you would probably put in the rotation if you did, try to go that route?
I because I played the other stuff, I haven't messed with this too much, but I can tell you like a couple of them that have been pretty decent. I think so. This one here, this knockup one, I had some Captain America using this against me, and for some reason, I was in the air for like it felt like an hour, and I think he's been using it to CC people really well. So I would say if you're trying to use hand to hand, like this move might be worth looking into.
Okay.
And then for Hero's Duty, this thing or no, this one here deals a whole bunch of damage, and it kind of like it's his. It's almost like his PVE and his PvP final move. It's like if you can find them standing still for a second, it's going to be like your biggest amount of damage.
Okay. Okay. Wow. So he has a single target high damage as well, like everyone else. I mean that's
Yeah, he does, but his it's short range. So the problem with this is like if they're not stunned and they just walk away from you, they don't take the rest of the damage because it's like multiple hits.
yeah, I do see
So
that.
yeah, it gets really rough with like if Iron Man's charging his beam at someone or Doctor Strange, like their like standalone beam attacks that hit multiple times, it like tracks the target as they're running away.
Yeah. Okay.
So with Captain America, it's a lot about placement and also like setting up like guard breaks and stuff, or like if you can get like a stun off, then you have to like follow it up with this or follow it up with one of your big vibranium release attacks. You got to like find openings like that.
Oh, okay, okay. So, because I know there's a lot of people out here who kind of wants to get in Cap as well, and we kind of put a lot of emphasis around Cap. There is, I know a lot of people consider this move to kind of be his bread and butter move, but it's not a move that'll get you that much. It won't get you damage at all, but it's kind of the saving grace of Cap. What people would kind of, argue it would be the support shield. Is that do you run that as well?
Oh yeah, the
The
captain's
captain's
leadership.
leadership, yeah, yeah, that move right there is fantastic.
Yeah, it's great. And there's also like we want to play around with some of the other stuff too. Like this version provokes, and we're still kind of trying to figure out like how effective that is.
Mm-hmm.
I know it like stops like in PvP, it'll stop people and they like are forced to target.
All right, so I do have one question. So when you if you ever try using the provoke in PvP, and you said people can resist it, does that force them to use like two dodges, kind of like if your guard was broken and you gotta get yourself invisible to recover? Is that kind of how the provoke works? Does it force people to use two dodges or?
No, I think you can use the two dodges to get out of it if you're in it. I'm not 100% sure on that because I haven't been on the receiving end too much.
Oh yeah.
But I have seen like if I use it in a group of people, I'll see like resist come up above certain people and then they can just move out of it.
Oh, resist. Yeah, okay, I definitely understand that. Okay, so we now have the skills. Now we also have the rotation as well. But now let's go into the specializations because you did bring up there are two different ways you can build your cap. So I'm very
Yeah.
curious to see what are these two ways that you can build the cap.
Well, one thing, like, so the hand-to-hand stuff, like I
Mm-hmm.
said, you'll want to run the two hand-to-hand skills, probably the leadership, and then you're gonna run like some of the vibranium release stuff, but you won't really be focused on the release ability.
Mm-hmm.
And we can come back to like this other stuff after specialization because it's honestly probably the easiest way to show you what I mean by
Yeah,
like
yeah,
just two
no.
different caps.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. We can come back after that. I just wanted to show everybody, because different names, hand to hand, shield absorption. I just want them to kind of get the animations in their mind and the rotations of it before we explain what the specialties that they're going to need depending on what skills they run.
Makes sense.
Alrighty, so let's go ahead and start it off. What are we looking at? I know as a cap, there is something that a lot of caps tell me they do run, and it's the convert, I think, defense into attack, right?
Yeah, so this is probably your major. Well, I would say there's two major ones.
Okay.
This one's good just because it's just giving you free attack.
Mm-hmm.
And then what you can do is like your shield that you equip can give you a lot of defense, and so it's basically like a third attack slot if you think about it that way.
Yeah.
So I mean, and there's not really much to it. I tried stacking a bunch of defense to give me as much attack as possible to see how that would work out. But defense as a stat really doesn't matter. Like, even with as much defense as I have, I still get melted by like pretty much everybody in PvP.
Mm.
And I've got like 75% PvP decrease and like crazy amounts of defense, and I still get like take just as much damage as anyone else.
Oh, okay. So let's see what kind of because what you got shield absorption, right? Isn't that what you have?
Yeah, I have so there's a couple shield absorption abilities, but this other ability is like the other one that I think is super necessary for him.
Huh?
So like this one used to be that it would reduce damage received by like one target next to him.
Mm-hmm.
So for like PvP, it would be like a duel or whatever, like one person next to you. But they changed it in one of the patches to just decrease damage. It just decreases all damage received.
That's good. That's good. I'm glad they did that.
Yeah, so that's pretty vital for him. And then another thing you can get is this, which is increases damage dealt to bleeding targets. So you've got a couple, like 2 or 3 skills that can cause bleeds, and then this just gives you extra damage. So this is like your PvP or your PvE spec, I mean.
Okay.
So we'll start on the hand-to-hand stuff because like we just went over it.
Mm-hmm.
So this right here just gives you flat hand-to-hand skill damage.
Oh. Okay.
So you're going to get 20% right here, but it's only going to apply to those 2 skills out of like the 5 that you want to use.
Yeah.
So there's that stuff, and then there's also this one, which is it increases the damage of the first skill used after your hand-to-hand combat skill. So like basically you want to rotate in between like a hand-to-hand combat and then something that deals a bunch of damage and then back and forth.
Okay.
So the way the vibranium release works is each skill that uses shield absorption gives you 25% of the bar, so it's like 4 charges. And when you fill it up all the way, the next time you use a vibranium release ability, it deals 30% more damage and 30% more guard damage.
Okay.
So like basically with this setup, like with the hand-to-hand stuff, you would probably have like your 2 hand-to-hand skills and then like 1 shield absorption and 1 vibranium release.
Mm-hmm.
And you would like charge up that vibranium release and then use a hand-to-hand skill to set up this damage, and then you would use that vibranium release to get like plus 60% more damage or something.
Ah, so Cap does have a rotation. Okay.
Yeah, but that's like the downfall to him though, is that the rotation is so slow.
Yeah.
So like the first rotation is really nice, and in Dimension Duel you'll get it going pretty easily, but the longer the fight goes, you just run out of gas. Like that's why he's not so great in PvE, is because like as you're doing the PvE content, you just run out of speed on damage like super easy.
Yeah, I can definitely see, especially if you don't have the stamina and the skill cooldown for it as well. Yeah, I can definitely see
Yeah,
that's a
like
problem.
even with my like whale stats, I'm still having an issue with like just gassing out and like standing there for 4 seconds, just auto attacking like melee attacks because I can't throw my shield again.
Yeah. So what are some shield absorption specialties that you try to run with yours?
Well, I don't run any because so I run the defense and the damage received. And right now I'm running this because I run bleeds,
Yeah.
so I keep bleeds on them. And also it's good in like PvP Omega Wars because like if other people are fighting your target, more than likely somebody else is putting a bleed on them.
Yeah.
And then this is just like I don't know if this is essential. I would debate that like if I really wanted to go hardcore, I think you could drop this for a better ability because it's just lifesteal and it's a really small percentage. But when it comes to things like AFK farming or like when the new battle challenges came out and
Mhm.
you have to solo Dormammu, like the lifesteal makes it like super easy to do anything solo.
Okay. That's
So I've kept it on just because it is nice, and you do feel it a little bit in Dimension Duel, but it's not as much lifesteal as you would think.
yeah.
It's very minimal, and you can probably switch it off for some damage.
Okay. So and this is just for all Captain Americas, like even if you're like free to play and or a whale Captain America, these are kind of some things that you would argue maybe you should look into, especially if you're not the kind of Captain America that's going for hand to hand.
Yeah, I mean, for sure, those are like the neutral ones.
Uh-huh.
The shield absorption, this is the thing that they've been kind of trying to change, and I think people have said it's even bugged, so I haven't messed with it at all. But all it's giving you is like that 25% you gain from one of those shield absorption abilities.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 50% chance to just get two of them. But the problem is you still have to rely on like your cooldowns and stuff.
Yeah.
So like getting the double gauge, it like doesn't matter, and it kind of ruins your rotation too.
Yeah, and on top of that, you're dealing with RNG. Like you get up to 50%. Now it's like
Yeah,
50-50. It
exactly.
works and it doesn't work. And it's
Yeah,
just,
it's like oh, ideally in Dimension Duel, I would run in, get my 50%, get my 50%, and then release right away. But then yeah, you're like basically trying to hope you flip a coin twice every time.
jeez. All right, here goes one of my favorite parts about this. Um, as I did on my other videos, we have companions now. So, is there any companion that works in tandem with Captain America that you feel like would be, I don't want to say a go to, but like if you do have it, that's a fantastic option to run with Captain America?
I so I would say obviously the easiest thing to say with everything in this game is just get the highest tier stuff. Like
Mm
special cards have extra bonus stats, like the special companions have extra stats
hmm.
and
Mm hmm.
they are stronger. But if we're talking like free to play, I think Ultron is the only one that people have been really like gushing over.
Mm hmm.
The barrier shield is amazing. Like you use this in dimensional duel, and it's annoying even for like a whale like me. It's like eating through it is just like really difficult. And the good thing about it is you can guarantee it gets off on yourself because you can like stand inside of it.
Uh huh.
The difficult things about like Gilgamesh and even like Cersei is that people can move out of those. Like once you can see the animation coming in, you kind of move out of it pretty easily and just run back in after. So anything that gives a buff is what I would recommend doing. I put my skills into Athena
Mm hmm.
because I think she's great to have in like Omega War and stuff. And I really want to level up Ultron more because I kind of slept on him at first, but the more I've been seeing this barrier in Dimension Duel, the more I'm realizing how like annoying it is.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I like to ask this question because free to play players or hell even dolphins and low spenders aren't gonna have all these special companions. So it's always nice to find like some hidden gems in there for specific characters if you can. Um, Now I do have one more question for you.
What's up?
I need you to back out of that real quick, and I want to know what are some, I don't want to say essential, but if there are a perfect set of cards that you would go for Captain America, like any sets, what would be some good card sets that you would put on Captain America?
So let me remember. So there's a couple sets I looked at when I was looking at normal cards.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing I think of something that people need to realize too is don't worry so much about these set bonuses
Mm-hmm.
because like this bonus is only if you have six of them. When you have a two-piece set bonus, it's like 1% attack.
Yeah.
So like if you drop a card for another card, like if you're using like for this situation, if you're using a max damage rate card just to get this attack bonus with another card that you like, just drop this card for a better fixed stat because this stat alone is going to be huge and a much bigger difference. But let me see. I was looking at a lot of this defense stuff. Like this one has a 12 defense fixed stat,
Okay.
and I think one of these other ones had like a something else that I kind of like. I think it was HP. That was when I was looking at defense more.
Yeah. Yeah.
One of the biggest ones I think everyone kind of mentions is the Loki cards.
Yeah.
Yeah, the crit damage is really nice. And like I said, the main thing you really want is like this fixed stat. The fixed stat and your exclusive are going to be your biggest things you will look for. And it's the biggest thing that you can control. Everything else is going to come randomly.
Yeah.
But at least you can pick this thing and say, like, I want this number to be important.
Okay. So, now I want to look at your car specifically, and I want to see what you run because I remember looking at your Captain America's car.
Yeah, my cards are.
Things.
Yeah, my cards are pretty crazy, but it's because I like the Black Friday event was really good.
Yeah,
and the rates for the special cards were crazy. And like, if you want to talk like end game, like this is what you're going to aim for. You're almost never going to use a normal card because the bonus stats are just insane to have an extra line right here.
Yeah. But that wasn't specifically keep on this card. That wasn't specifically what I was asking about. I wanted to specifically ask about his exclusive stats. That's more what I wanted to ask about because being Captain America main, Star-Lord, Storm mains, we don't get stats like defense appears, total damage.
I know.
So I just wanted to know do you feel like Captain America is one of those characters where it's kind of like PvP increase, PvP decrease, or bust? Does he have any?
Pretty much, yes. If you're a free-to-play player, just go for PvP increase and decrease.
Mm-hmm.
I've gotten a whole bunch of decrease off of my extra bonus stats here. Like here's increase.
Yeah.
Like here's a decrease. This one had decrease before, but I re-rolled it. And so because I have all these other ones, I'm actually capped, and I got to re-roll my exclusives, and I'm trying out guard damage.
Okay.
So I think 5 of my cards have guard damage right now. Like I just have a ton of it. So, but before that, it was definitely all like PvP increase and decrease.
Okay. Do you feel any difference in the guard damage that you put on? Like, do you feel like maybe it takes maybe a rotation or two just to break someone's guard? If that, maybe just give them one little shield absorption and it's just instantly broken. Like, do you even feel that in raids? That's a big question.
I wish it felt like that, but I will say that I do feel it though. Like I do. Before I had the guard damage, I probably had like 20 or 30%, and I would like rarely guard break people. But now I guard break like every single dimension duel, like sometimes twice.
Okay, so yeah,
so it does make a difference. But like the problem I'm seeing is, like look at what I have to do to get that. I have to waste 5 exclusive stats, and when you think about what a guard break is, it's just like a 4-second stun.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times when I guard break people, I just punch them for 4 seconds. Because like I've used up 3 skills to guard break them, and then all my skills are on cooldown. Like I can tell you like probably my 5 last duels I've probably done that. Just like run out of skills and they guard break, but then I'm just standing there punching them, and then they're fine. So
so other than guard damage? What's his other exclusive stats? Because I don't know his other
he
exclusive
has, I
stats.
believe he has guard damage decrease or critical damage decrease. I think it's guard damage decrease. And then he
Okay.
also has surface to air damage.
Oh yeah, that's right. He does have
Yeah, and so those are all
surfaces.
pretty terrible.
Oh man. Okay.
So yeah, if just PvP increase and decrease, don't do guard damage. I'm only doing it because we're like testing stuff, and also
Yeah.
we're like I think Captain America is good as a support role, and
Yeah.
as a support role, you want to guard break like in Alliance Wars and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
But like if you're playing for personal, yeah, you're gonna be wasting a lot of stats getting guard damage, and then you're gonna wish you had like attack.
okay. Okay. Do you want to have any disclaimers for this character? Maybe if you want to lean someone into this, is this a character that you would probably recommend?
So the disclaimer I want to say is if if you want to be good in this game rewards people that like can clear stuff fast and like play somebody else if you want to be good. But if you want to play this game for fun,
Yeah.
like Captain America is legitimately fun. Like
Yeah.
when I first started playing, um, I ran through a couple characters, and when I played him, I was like, oh, he's kind of like a boxer, like Rush Atom, almost like a Wolverine character.
Yes.
So I was like, oh, I like his play style, and that's why I stuck with him. But like, I don't think they're gonna fix it either. If people think they're gonna fix Captain America to where he can do end game stuff, I don't. I think they've made the game a certain way too far now, and it's too hard to go back.
Yeah. Definitely.
So I would recommend like if any melee characters come out or tanky characters, just know that you're gonna struggle. But like if you enjoy the game, you can still do content. You just have to work harder than everybody else, which sucks.
Yeah, because a lot of people would think that they're just gonna buff Captain America's damage. Like, I don't think you guys understand if they buff Captain America's damage, but they leave his defense and his HP where it is, he could like honestly probably be one of the most broken PvP characters because like he'll be able to out tank you and out DPS you. So I'm highly doubting too that they might touch his damage all that
Yeah,
much.
in PvP he would get crazy, but like the issue with PvE is will always be that like he's a melee character.
Yeah.
So like when you go into like Spec Ops or any of like the invasions that we just did, like
Hmm.
I can't get on any of the charts for invasions because like I have no AoEs.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what?
Oh,
That
that
may.
does remind me. Let me like I think you skipped over the fact that we skipped over some skills.
Oh, did
I'm
we?
just gonna rush through. Yeah, because we didn't do the shield absorption ones.
Oh, I was
Yeah,
not aware. I am so sorry about that. I'm
no, it's good.
because
We'll just do a quick run through.
yeah,
Like
it's
you don't
fine.
need the most of the skills are pretty basic. Like I used all of them, like little bits here and there.
Yeah.
And I just want to show people like the main ones you'll use. You'll use this one almost all the time.
Hmm.
This thing is like it's a ranged attack that homes. So like if they're running away from you, it'll just throw a shield that always hits them, and it puts a bleed on them, which is good for that one dash attack. This one basically just has three different levels: short and fast. There's medium and medium cooldown,
Hmm.
and then there's like heaviest damage with the longest cooldown.
Okay. Okay.
And this is something that another people like really need to use with Captain America, which is neutralization for Unbreakable Will. So this is one of the vibranium release abilities, but you won't really use it for that. What you'll use it for is this removes all buffs thing. It's awesome.
Oh.
Like you'll see Iron Man's buff themselves and Doctor Strange's buff themselves, and you can just run up there and just smash all the debuffs off, or all the buffs off of them.
Yeah, I do. I see it, and a lot of his skills have like guard break, and they'd be like high as high.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. That's why I'm kind of using this stuff right now, is because it has that, and it's been real nice in Alliance Omega War.
oh, okay. So I see Cap found some value in that. I kind
I
of figured that was going to be the case anyway.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping was like more team based stuff is where he really shines. Same for Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange really shines in Alliance Omega War.
Oh,
So
Okay.
for the people out there playing Cap and Doctor Strange, you guys just find people to play with.
Yeah, that's kind of
Yeah,
what
you'll
it.
know.
Yeah, definitely what it looks like. And I don't know if any guys have that's watching this video didn't keep up. Alliance, the invasion that's coming out, it takes into account damage received. So hopefully we see the man JFK somewhere up top of the leaderboards.
Yeah, we'll see.
Alrighty, all right, man.
Oh, and then there's one thing, like, so this ability here is a vibrate, like, it's the absorption ability for these three.
Mm-hmm.
But this final one, it's a release ability, and this is actually your strongest attack. And that's why I wanted to bring this up, is like, even if you're using the punch attack, this is like the strongest vibranium release ability. And even for people not playing Cap, this is what you need to look for when you're getting like stunned. If you see him doing this little spinny thing here, like dodge before he does his final like smash. Because that thing is like heavy damage, and usually they'll do it after this release is filled, so he's gonna do like a lot.
Yeah, I think I was playing Cap when I was leveling up, and I think I quit this skill on there. But I kind of thought when you were showing me the skills, it was in a vibration absorption. But I could have sworn it was vibration release because every time I used it, my gauge would go down. So I'm glad I was
Yeah.
not. I'm glad I was not tripping on that when I seen that.
Yeah, it's really weird, like how they've laid out his skills, where you don't really have enough to like do one or the other. So that's like the issue I think Cap has is if you do the punch stuff, then you really don't have anything that buffs these abilities. But then like you can see how I have plus sixes here, but like my punch skills don't get anything, and I've got no damage on them. So
Okay. Okay. So I don't think Cap is really that RNG basic. I mean, like I said, guys, for newer players that they aren't very skilled, I definitely feel like Captain America is one of those characters that is kind of pick up, and he definitely helps you learn the ropes, especially because he doesn't die that easily. So it definitely saves you the gold. So that is one thing for sure.
yeah, he definitely like helps you learn fights too. Like
Hmm.
once you fought Luffy a couple times and you have to dodge all that ice stuff, like you really get to learn how to like use your dodges right.
Okay, yeah. Like there's a lot of goods to Captain America. Like, there are some characters in this game, once one particular that's coming to my mind that just has a lot of negatives. But to me, I always looked at as Cap as somebody who he has a lot of positives, but his positives right now aren't in the meta until we get like any certain game modes that kind of fit what his positives are.
Yeah, like they're not. That's the thing is you're not going to hit any of like the rankings every week on
Hmm.
stuff, but you'll still have like a lot of importance, especially in Alliance Omega War and even regular Omega War if you know how to use your shield.
Yeah.
So like he's useful, but like you're not going to get awards for being useful. So just like remember that too.
Yeah. So, is there anything else? You got anything you want to plug? Yeah, a channel coming out? I know you say you want to start a
No,
channel. You don't want to. Oh, you don't want to.
no. I mean, we'll see. I want to like. I think there's not enough information out there, which is why I wanted to do this. I normally wouldn't care, but like when you look on Reddit and when you look on YouTube, it's like there's not a lot of actual information. There's a lot of speculation and people talking about stuff, but nobody, there's not a lot of people actually going out and doing the
Yeah.
research. And
Yeah.
so it would be nice just to like have another source